Riku, you made it!
What's our sentence?
I think they expect us to give up and die down here.
Well, that's a lame way to kill someone.
Hello, and welcome back to the Masters mod. Last time, we split the party to get Yuna, and now we have the Underwater Squad. First off, we have this very nice chest here to restock all of our items, and then also we can get some holy waters, which you've never had before, and we'll definitely need. In this underwater section, I only ran into two fiends, the shelled octopus and the fishman. Now, the fishermen aren't really a big deal for me because I have Riku that has Sleep Buster, so both her and Wakka can shut those down. And then, really the main threat are the shelled octopus. Now, that's because they are immune to sleep, and then also they can use Blizzerum. So, yeah, we need to both blind and silence them. And if it turns out that they have the double encounter, then, you know, they're gonna get a turn of really hitting someone hard if they don't get the right ailment on them. Not only do they have the potential to hit really hard, but they have a lot of life, and then they also have the shell, so you need something with piercing to do a lot of damage, unless if you use Riku's items, which I'd rather not do right here. Luckily, this area is pretty short, so I only got the 2 encounters, and that way, I also taught Titus Demi. So both him casting Demi and then Riku coming in to copycat that can output a decent amount. Then once the elements are under control, Riku can get a lucky poison, which will just take out their life quite a bit faster than just whittling away when you don't have a piercing weapon. But you can definitely go all out on the MP because there's a save sphere right there, and also it's a relatively short hallway, so actually in my first playthrough, I was able to squeak by without having to fight anything here. But now we have our rematch with Evrea, and the modder did a really good job. I love this fight. Yeah, so if you want to do it on your own, then feel free. That's awesome, and then come back. So I think that everyone who's played this game has had some embarrassing moment where they either hasted themselves when they had reflect on, so they hasted the enemy, or they slowed themselves because, you know, a misclick or something. But with this fight, it's actually really cool how you want to out-slow the boss by either hasting him up or slowing your guys down. Now, the fight essentially forces you to win through Doom, and because of this, like, I love how there's a balance of, okay, how do I make it so that my guys survive the onslaught, but then also I need to give him more turns so that he ends up counting down faster than us. Then he also throws so many ailments at us with Zombie that you need to spend a decent amount of turns using items which are faster, so that actually will make it so that you can, that you have to not only waste a turn on healing yourselves, but your turns will come a little bit quicker than if you actually attack. Now, in my case, I have Poison Proof on Titus and Wakka, but Riku does not, and obviously she is the fastest one of the bunch. Keeping her alive is the big challenge of this fight for me, because not only does she get one shot by a physical move, but if you don't have a shell or magic rig on her, she'll do pretty bad with the magical moves too. That, and then because she's so fast, her timer just goes down way quicker than everyone else if you don't really try to keep her slowed down. Now, I see Wakka as the MVP of this fight, because without the Dark Buster, the counterattacks will just do a good amount of chip damage, but then also you get zombified after that, so then you have to spend another quick turn to heal the zombified, so that way when you actually need to heal up again, you won't damage your own people. Not only is he great by making sure that your guys don't take as much damage and have to waste turns, but my Wakka also has Magic Break on him. So that's really good for when the new Photon attack comes out, because yeah, we want to make sure that they're healthy enough to survive that, and then also whatever turn he does after that, because we'll lose it because we don't have anyone with sleep proof on this line. So even though the main win condition for this fight is the Doom counter, we still do want to do some damage to him because if he's 4,000 under his cap, then he'll heal himself instead of like casting Hastiga on us. And if he does that, then that's crazy, because it will slow him down a ton, because Hastiga just takes a long time to cast, apparently. But then also, the whole front line gets hasted. And with that, we definitely need Riku to throw a Silver Hourglass. Only thing is we only have 10 of those, and I really want to use them for customizing, so I'd rather not use them if I don't have to. And also, just like normal, since Evrea is also zombified, you can do some big damage to him based off of the bigger potions or Phoenix Downs. But again, I really don't want to use those if I don't have to, because I want them for myself later down the line. I'm sure I'll use them eventually. But I do have Titus with Demi. So with that is enough to do 6,000, which is definitely enough to make it so that he focuses on healing himself more. So as long as we keep ourselves in good health, make sure that he's magic broken, and then just make sure that the turn order isn't really crazy like it is at the end there, then we can outstall him pretty well. Now, this fight doesn't actually give experience, I guess that's just a nice thing that the mod maker did, in case you can't really keep Riku alive, but, you know, for me, I gotta keep the whole squad alive at the end for pride. But the rewards are actually super good. You got all of those Mega Phoenixes, and with that, you are able to get an Auto Phoenix equipment. Make sure that you spend this very wisely. I'll talk about that more at the end. Now, definitely remember to pick up the Wakka evading counter weapon, because that is so powerful. You might not get as many customization slots as normal, but man, this weapon is great. Now, on the fight back up to Khimari, I also only got 2 encounters this time too. Again, you have the kickers and then the cannons. Now, of course, the cannons are really the main threat here, because the kickers will bring you down to 1 HP, so the cannons will finish you off, and they hit the whole party. So that's really the dangerous part, is when you have the double, and then also the kicker has a lot of HP, and he's stopping the melee attackers from getting to them. So that's definitely top priority, is hasting up Lulu and slowing the cannons down, and then just surviving the big hits. But really, you don't have to worry about the kickers at all until the very end. But now we reunite with Khimari, get the whole party together, and then fight Seymour once again. So my strategy here is based off of completely shutting down Seymour's damage to us. Now, for this strategy, we need at least 3 characters with a null element of each element. So for that, I have Yuna, Titus, Khimari, and Wakka. Now, my reason for this is because really some of them rolled the SOS null element on their weapons, so that way they can get some armor to cover up their weaknesses, or if they already had an SOS null something armor, and that way I can kind of double up on that. Even so, Wakka and Khimari will have to change their armor on the fly every now and then to get their extra coverage. But the biggest hurdle of this fight is, how do we actually get to SOS range without just getting completely obliterated by his multi-hit spells? Because the SOS nulls will not activate mid-attack. Now, my answer to this is actually pretty simple. You use his Demi counter, because it's Demi. So, if it cuts your HP in quarter, or it takes a quarter of your HP off every time, if you get 3 Demis off on your guys, then they'll be in yellow, they'll be under half. So, I can start by slowing Seymour and then silencing him, so when he wastes his turn silence-proofifying himself, because in this game, it really seems that when you're slowed or hasted, it seems to really affect you most like once that turn, or once their first turn with the status kicks in. Then you just have to remember to keep track of the last thing that Seymour casted, or the last element that he did, so that way you know what he's going to cast next. Because remember, he does ice, lightning, water, then fire in that order. He might do an extra spell in between, but when it comes down to the elements, make sure that you know what he's going to cast next, so that you can change out your equipment. Then when Seymour is just about handled, all we have to do is focus on the mortar body. Now with this, he actually will cast a lot of buffing spells on Seymour, including haste. So that's really why I want to silence the mortar body, because if it casts haste on Seymour, then you can get in a pretty rough spot. Then it also throws out some magic and power breaks. So if you keep it blind and it misses those, then you don't have to worry about your damage getting cut down either. But for the buffs and the reflexes that he does give off, even when he's silenced, we don't have to worry about that at all if we just hit the mortar body instead. So that's what I'll do. I'll armor break it with Orin, and then we just focus on that until Seymour goes down. The exception to this is when Seymour does a non-elemental spell, because that'll just completely destroy someone. That's why we keep everybody hasted, and in my case, Khimari knows haste now, so that makes it even easier. Takes a little bit of the load off of Titus. Then also, after the revive, most of the time, it revives them to exactly half, so they'll actually be in white health, so you need to get them just a sliver down. So with that, that's where I will attack Seymour again, but since he has a lot of reflexes based off of the mortar body, I'll do something that doesn't miss, like Lance It, or maybe just a quick spell. But Lance It is probably what I'm to use because Khimari's most likely on the front line. Now, the rewards for this fight is pretty nice because we have access to Reflect now, which can be pretty good in some pretty niche situations, but very good. But then we also get a ton of levels, so we get a lot of stats. And since my Khimari is on Titus's path now, he gets a good amount of strength, so he can actually do a lot of damage now. And then he gets Provoke, which will actually be kind of useful coming up. But the real winner of this is Lulu, because now she has access to half MP cost, which is a no-brainer to put on Lulu. Now, again, like I said earlier in here, we have access to an Auto Phoenix, which I've alluded to in the past that this was the mistake that I made. That really was the only mistake that you can make, is wasting the Auto Phoenix. So I put mine on an Orin equipment because Orin never dies. But when he threatens, he doesn't have, or he can't use his reactions to Auto Phoenix. And then also, at the end game, as much as I love him now, if he doesn't have enough turns to swap out, it's pretty tough. So yeah, use your Auto Phoenix wisely, and preferably not on Orin. But that's it for today. So hope you enjoyed. Again, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, I like your face. Bye bye.